He said of Dak, quote, "I don't know how you could have any more leverage. His evolving into an NFL quarterback has been nothing short of a perfect picture." Shannon, what's Jerry really saying here?
Jerry doing all this talking, Skip. Jerry does this every time.
It's funny.
It is. Huh? But, Skip, I think also Jerry got an opportunity to see what Ben DiNucci and Cooper Rush and Gilbert. What another guy didn't another guy start? Garrett Gilbert, Andy Dalton. Look, Jerry's like, man, I might just have to, hey, Steven, and Jerry Jr., and Shaw, I just might have to bite this bullet. Because, Skip, I think the thing is that what Jerry is seeing, the price that he wanted is not going to be there. So even in a year in which the cap is going to come down, the number for the quarterback is not going to come down. They say if you want to see what a person is really worth, let him hit the free agent market. And Jerry knows if Dak hits the free agent market, Skip, it's over. He'll lose a bidding war. And that's why you do everything you possibly can to prevent guys from hitting the market. Because if they hit the market, somebody's gonna be at a king's ransom for him and is gonna put you in a bind where you can't sign him. So for me, I've always thought Dak had the leverage for the simple fact, and now he has even more leverage because guess what? Where he was hoping they continue to lose and they'd be in the top 5 and he could get a quarterback. Now they're all the way, they might be, what, 9, 10, or even 11, and the quarterbacks that you possibly thought they might could get one of is not going to be there when they're picking. So they're up against it. And Jerry knows, Skip, even if you franchise Dak at $38 million, Steven said last year you want to keep the quarterback around 14% of your cap. Well, if you give Dak 37.7, basically $38 million, that's 22% of your cap. That's 8% more than projection says you should give a quarterback. But you only got yourself to blame. You had years and years to get this done. And you chose to keep punting the ball, kept betting against Dak. And now it's going to come due, Skip. They're going to have to pay Dak. And he's right. Dak has the leverage because Jerry just saw what happened when Dak wasn't in there. They lost, and they look bad in doing it.
Okay, I interpreted these comments from Jerry Jones very, very differently than you did. I laughed and I laughed and I laughed at Jerry because this was vintage Jerry Jones.
Of course.
This was classic PR spin from Jerry because bad blood lingers between Jerry and Dak and the agent. Okay, it got do not invite him bad at the end of the negotiation before it had to be broken off.
And Todd France is still his agent.
He is still his agent. So to me, this was classic Jerry trying to mend the fence before he goes back to trying to rope the prize steer, who is Dak Prescott. And he is a prize steer. I got that. But I don't think Jerry believes that Dak has any more leverage than he had the first time around. And what made me laugh about this was he raves and raves about how valuable Dak is. I don't know how you could have any more leverage. His evolution as an NFL quarterback has been nothing short of a perfect picture. Really? I don't know about the perfect picture. That's why he said, I offered Dak all that money to begin with, all that money. So I don't know what the reports are, 35,
the report said 34 and a half. I read 34 and a half is what they got to.
I don't know what to believe because I've seen higher marks of that, higher speculation about how much was offered. But whatever, it's somewhere in the mid-30s. I believe that Dak and his agent wanted somewhere in the low 40s because they saw what was coming from both my homeboy and Deshaun. And they stood firm, and Jerry dug in, as he always does in most negotiations, except with stars. And this is the first star negotiation where he didn't cave in. He dug in. He said, no, that's too rich for even my blood. I've overpaid too many of my stars. I can't overpay my quarterback because that's the one you can't overcome. See Eagles, see Rams. Okay. So I laughed at this because he's basically saying, let's get back to the table with some good spirit here in this. Let's revive our good spirit in this negotiation, because he said the issue is how do you come together? And that's no stranger to me. I've been doing that my whole life. He's a deal maker. That's what he does for a living. He makes deals. And he would like to believe that he often gets the better of the deal.
Of course.
I'm not sure it's all about years. There's so much speculation. Dak wants 4, Jerry wants 5. But in the end, it's about dollars. That's what it's about. Okay, so let's talk about leverage, shall we? You can argue that because the cap is going to plunge, that Jerry can just say, hey, I don't have it right now. So don't tell me that's not leverage. I agree with your draft pick idea. That would have been real advantage Jerry Jones if you're up there in the top 3 and you got a chance, a shot at Justin Fields or whoever, or maybe even who knows what could happen.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about leverage. I'm going to be completely objective, and I need you to respond to this and tell me where I'm wrong or right on this.
Okay.
I see Dak having no leverage because he is, and this is just a fact. I've been his biggest fan. I was a huge fan of Dak Prescott when he played at Mississippi State. You can check the tapes on the other network. Okay. I raved about him at Mississippi State. That was my favorite team that year in college as they rose all the way, briefly, to the top. They were #1 for about a week until they went to Tuscaloosa. Okay, I got it. Think about this.
Okay.
Dak Prescott, in his last 17 starts for the Dallas Cowboys, 6-11. Is that leverage? I don't think so.
No.
What happened to start the year? If they had not stolen the Atlanta game after being down 29-10 at halftime, Dak Prescott would have started off the year 0-4, and he would have fallen behind 17-3 at home to the Giants before he got hurt.
Right.
Okay, help me out. So he was on his way to maybe being even 0-5 to start the year. Is that leverage?
That's not leverage, but what you told me, Dak said was skill. When I heard you talking, you said it was the defense. You said it was Rod Marinelli and they made Jason Garrett.
I got it, but what do you always come back at me with?
Yeah.
Dallas get the ball?
Yes.
Yeah, they got the ball.
Yes.
Okay, what did we see last year? I don't want to beat this because it's a way dead horse from last year, but what did we see Dak do on offense last year? He did get the ball in these road games. At New Orleans, the offense scored 10. At New England, the offense scored 9. At Philly, in the game of the year, do or die, sink or swim, make or break, 9 points. Okay, 10, 9, and 9. And remember what happened at home against Green Bay last year? They fell behind 31-3. Did Dak get the football a few times? Yeah, he did. At Jets, they fell behind 21-3. You're rooting yourself hoarse up in Denver for the Jets to win that game, and they hung on and won it 24-22. And then Buffalo on Thanksgiving, it was almost as embarrassing as the Washington game was this year on Thanksgiving because they fell behind 26-7. And then at Chicago on that Thursday night, remember Troy Aikman up in the booth? He's just saying, bottom this time. Well, they fell behind 24-7 to the Bears.